Even I don't know, I am not direct data, but I can tell without by using another method. Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, do it in your mind limits up to Astrology. So actually there is only 9 stars. There's actually only 9 stars. Okay? This 9 is written again here and again here. 9, 9, 9. So Ashwini is same as Maha and same as Maha. But because they happen to be in another sign, in another zodiac, they have to give it another name. But as far as we are concerned, it is almost the same. Almost the same. Characters might be different, but for calculations, all these 3 stars belong to Ketu. So if you are born in this nakshatra or this nakshatra or this one, your first dasha will be Ketu Mahadasha. Because for Ashwini, Maha and Mula, the first dasha will always be Ketu. The reason is these 3 stars are ruled by Ketu. So all Ketu stars, if we add the number, it will always be 1. That's all. So simple. 1, 10, 19. So people think I have fantastic memory. Actually, I don't use it at all. So I just know what is the star, basic star number. Bharani is 2. Okay, so Purva Falguni will be 11 and Purva Shada will be 20 because it adds up to 2. So Kritika will be 3 and Uttara Falguni will be 12 and Uttara Shada will be 21. So I'm not memorizing it at all. Got it? So get this, you should understand this because remember in the class we said there is we will also use this board simultaneously. See, the first star is here. So it ends here, the 9th star. So this is one point where it begins, this is 1 point and this is 1 point. They are all equidistant from each other. 120, 120, 120. So from here to here, from here to here. So Ashwini starts from here, Aslesha ends here. Then Maha starts here and Jyeshtha ends here. Mula starts here and Revati ends here. All these This concept. This is the ending and this is the beginning. All these are junctions. So please always see the star only like this, not as a continuous. Like 9, 9, 9. That's the easy way. That's all. Once you say it is Gandanta, you can go to any level of usage. But the reference point for individual horoscope is basically Lagna point and the moon point. Lagna is the experience that we have, the physical, and the moon is the mental, manas. Planets, of course, anything there will run into trouble. Anybody on Gandanta?
Sandhi.
Sandhi. Anything in Sandhi. So there's something we will deal with Bhava Sandhi later, but this is how you actually look at it. Okay. Then another thing we had, remember we did this exaltation. Sorry, this is Muladhika. Okay, we'll do Muladhika. See, we simply say a Mula Trikona is this one, Shukra. But actually in truth it is not. It is only between 0 to 15. After that point has crossed, in reality we should not say that Shukra is in Mula Trikona. But we will use it for counting because that is a place. So suppose you find a planet, for example Mars in 1 to 12 degrees. Is actually should be 0 to, okay? That's a mistake. It is 0 to 12. So 0 to 12 is the actual Mula Trikona of Mars. But because the reference is inside Mesha, we will use it for all practical purpose for counting. But suppose you have a planet in 0 to 12, that Mars has an additional strength because we will say Mars is own house plus it is in Mula Trikona. Example of Mars. Okay, what is Mars? Yeah.
Sir, and the degree வந்து அந்த ராசிக்கு உள்ளுக்கு இருக்கிற டிகிரியோட அளவா because 0 to 360 வரும்.
அது பதிலா in every இது வந்து 0 to 360 ஒரு சைன்ல வந்து 0 to 30 0 to 30 0 to 30. Always one sign is only 30 degrees. The maximum is 30. There won't be 30 also. There will only be like clocks like 29 59, 59. You won't actually write 30. So if you write 30, it is 0. Okay? So try to memorize this. It always starts from 0. That's a mistake. I need to correct it. Then so this is also another point that though we say Mars is exalted in Capricorn, it is having a point called the exact exaltation point. 28 degrees is the exact point of exaltation. Right? Yeah. 28. And what will happen if it is 29? It is not exalted. It has reached its peak. And after that, it will start coming down. So there is a difference if you see in a horoscope somebody having Mars climbing towards exaltation and coming down. So take Jupiter. Jupiter is exalted at 5 degrees. So if you see in a horoscope, Jupiter is at 4 degrees, it is very fortunate. 5, fortunate. 6, not so fortunate. As a 5 and a 4 because it has crossed there. So once it crosses, where is it going towards? It is going to debilitation, the opposite place. So therefore it is inauspicious. But it is not inauspicious generally. It is still auspicious only, but not as powerful as The 2, 3, 4. So we always consider going towards success as most favorable than having completed it. Completed means what? It's over. There's nothing left. You have to come back. You climb Mount Everest, then it's a big event. After that, come down. So that's a cycle. Okay. So Mulatrikona also you should try to by heart, memorize, because that will give you. It is called attribute in astrology. I think attribute is a common word. Can you say something more about that planet? See, whenever, suppose we ask you a question, is this person a good man or not? Like Mahatma Gandhi. How will you start debating? You will say something, no, not astrology, normally, he was a nice man, this, but he did certain things, so that is also bad. Then finally, how do you judge? You do what is called the weighing method. Correct? So, to weigh, you need to know more and more about a particular planet. If you don't know more, then how will you start using that knowledge? So, as you grow in astrology, you should actually know, can I read something more and then find out. Like today you will learn this, that a planet ascending, it is called Arohanam. So, Avarohanam is coming down. This logic will come in many places. So, watch out for the exact exaltation point, or before exaltation point is considered more auspicious. And the opposite of it is the same, debilitation. So, if Jupiter is debilitated at 5 degrees, Jupiter will be debilitated at Ucham there, it will be Neecha here at 5 degrees Capricorn. So, if you have 4 degrees, it's very bad of Capricorn. 5 degrees very bad. 6th degree, you say better, because it is now trying to go towards exaltation. Aroha. Okay. Okay. Another thing is this. This map, are you now familiar with? You got used to this? If you are not used to this, then when we start doing the class on how to do Navamsha chart, you will find it very difficult. So you have to get used to this. Where is what? So now you see here, each one is a pada. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. If you add everywhere, it will only be 9. Okay, only there will be 9 space. Space for 9 legs of a star. Not more than that. And the best part of this is, whatever you see here, you will see here. Whatever you see here, you will see here. So all trinal things. Trine means, this is very popular in Western world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This and this will be same. Like you see this, 1, 2, 1, 2, and again 1, 2. Actually, if you want to write it in a better way, you should have written Uttarashravana down, Shravana here, and then stop. In the way it goes, as the moon goes. This is not done properly. So here you see that Aslesha exactly ends. So when a star is fully inside the Rashi, don't be like beginners and tell he is Aslesha Nakshatra and Karkataka Rashi. Aslesha Nakshatra means only Karkataka. But if you say Kritika, then you have to say whether it is Mesha Rasi or Rishabha Rasi. So the moment if any of your friends tell you Aslesha Nakshatra and Karkataka Rashi, then you can know that he is a beginner. Okay? Got it? Okay, any volunteer to explain why the moon has got no enemies? Moon has got no enemies.
Because it goes through every house, every Rashi.
Because it goes through every Rashi. That is philosophy. Is there any real logic behind it? Anybody wants to attempt?
Mother has no enemies.
Mother has no enemies.
In Modi Kazikona,
Yeah.
in Modi Kazikona,
Yeah.
you can work out.
Okay.
No enemies for
Okay. Friends and enemies we have one chapter. In that there is a rule. Adyar. Let us do one by one. Chandra. Okay. From the moon we have to find out. Let's start with from the moon sun. Is sun the enemy of the moon? So, who are the friends? From the Mula Trikona, which is the house that are its friends? The lords of?
2, 4, 5, 8, 9, 4.
Yeah. That day I taught you a technique. Do you remember? 2, 12, 5, 9. It's easy to memorize it like this. Rather than telling you in a serial order. Because 2, 12 is rising and 4, 8 is like double and 5, 9 is a triangle. So from this logic you know, from the moon, sun rules the 4th house, therefore friend. If the sun had another house to rule, then we have to check. Now there is no need to check. So we straight away say for the sun, for the moon, sun is a friend and not an enemy at least. Okay. The next planet is the moon. So we leave that. Mars. Now do for Mars. Mars rules the 7th from
7 and 12.
7 and 12. So by 12 it is friend. Is 7th in the enemy list? Yes. Correct? See, this is the logic.
What I thought is like Mars will
No. When you are talking about, okay, this is very simple. You want to say, I am the moon. For me, who are my friends and enemies? The planets. I want to know from my point of view. When I want to know from my point of view, I will refer from my Mula Trikona. Moon's Mula Trikona. So, throughout this exercise of completing the table on page, what is the page? 2 in lesson 3, you have one column, right? In the second row. Chandra, Puja is a neutral. Puja is neutral because by one rule it is good and by another rule it is bad. And because of that. So it is not a friend, not an enemy. Anybody has doubt, please stop here because this is very important. Can boldly ask, I have a doubt.
confusing sir. ஏன்னா நம்ம
இல்ல நீங்க confusing எதனாலன்னா whenever you ask the question you should know what is the question being asked. For the moon, who are its friends and enemies? What you did in between, you went to Mars point of view.
but நம்ம ஒரு லக்னாக்கு friends and enemies
அது வேற. This is between themselves how are they placed.
சந்திரன் ராகு கேது சனி
அது தனி இது இந்த லாஜிக்ல அது வராது. Okay. So now let's do another planet. After Mars is what? Mercury. Mercury is friend or enemy to the moon. First, from the moon's Mula Trikona, Mercury rules second house and fifth house. So when you get double, it is a confirmed friend. So you will see it in the friend list. Okay? You got it as a friend. So the Sun and Mercury are the friends. Okay. Now after Mercury is Jupiter. Jupiter rules the 8th and 11th. What is 8? Friend. See here, 8 is friend. 11, not here, enemy. Enemy and friend? Neutral. That's all. So after that, Venus. Venus is what? Lord of? Okay. We'll do Venus. Now try for Venus. Is Venus friend or enemy to the moon? So first of all, how do you start? Mula Trikona, 1 and 6th Lord is Shukra. Do you find anything here?
No.
So it's enemy. Why?
Moon becomes the Mula Trikona in the house of Shukra.
In the house of
Chandra's Mula Trikona is reflected as the Lordship of the Venus. Venus is a friend name.
Any attempt? Why did we write as moon? We wrote Shukra as a neutral. Why?
She just said that Chandra is in Shukra is exalted in
Exactly. See, this is a point you forgot. Actually, moon gets exalted in its sign. It's a very important one. Where is a moon exalted? See, so this is a strange situation where moon's exaltation and Mula Trikona is the same. Which other planet has the same possibility? Mula Trikona and exaltation is the same.
Mars.
Mars? Mula Trikona and exaltation?
No, Saturn.
Buddha has. Buddha's Mula Trikona and exaltation is the same. Good. Okay. So this is because Shukra's sign is where Chandra itself gets exalted. Okay. So because of that it becomes a friend, and by one rule it is bad, therefore it is a neutral. Right? Now last one is Saturn. Shani is the lord of 9th and 10th. 9th is there, 10th is not there. So one is friend, another one is enemy. So Saturn is neutral. Now do the ulta just for one case. Now we say from moon's point of view, he does not treat Saturn as enemy. Now let's do Saturn. From Saturn's point of view, is moon enemy or not? Now shift the entire reference point and make Saturn as the reference point. This is Mula Trikona. Now say moon is what? 6th lord. Is it there? Because of that, if you go down and you will see Saturn, you will find the moon is its enemy. This is the problem of 7.5 year Saturn. When Shani goes over the moon, Shani bothers the moon. That is called Sadhe Satya and 7.5 year Saturn. Got it? So do a little bit of practice and try to justify each one of the planets in this table. This is a very important aspect of astrology. Okay, the exaltation point, we use one here. Is there any other thing that you can use? Okay, now we will try another one. What is the relationship between, from Venus point of view, I am Venus, how will I look at Jupiter? Let's say he is Jupiter. How will I treat him? I will treat him. So I am what? Venus. He is Jupiter.
exaltation is in Jupiter sign.
No, we'll reverse it because he is into creativity. So we'll have him as Venus. And I am teacher. So I'll say I am Jupiter. Okay, now we'll do it again. From my point of view, okay, we start from my point of view. Jupiter, I am Jupiter and he is Venus. So from my point of view, how do I look at him?
Represent 3 and 6 almost enemies.
From me, meaning you have to start. Now the question is, I have to refer from my Mula Trikona. He is what? Shukra. Shukra is Lord of 6th and 11th. Is it there? So it becomes enemy. Okay? So refer the table and see if it is correct. From Guru's point. Enemy? Got it? Now let's look at it from his point of view. Now we'll ask from him. What do you think about Jupiter? Now what he does for that is, he will say, now I am this. I am going to refer from me. Jupiter is Lord of 3 and 6. Is it there?
No.
See, the correct way, we should have done this long time back. We should have put everything else here. 1, 3, no, 5 is already there. 6, 7,
11.
10, 11.
10, 11. Yeah. This is the easy way. Red and there are 2 colors. Now, you got 3 and 6. So very bad. Because if you get 2 reds, it is really bad. 2 greens means he doesn't say dear friend. Okay, we can say it is dear friend. Now, because of this, the correct answer should be from his point of whatever it is. Yeah. From his point of view, I am his enemy. Correct? Refer the table. So the answer is not correct, right? Because if we see the table, it says from Shukra's point of view, Jupiter is neutral. So our answer is wrong. So now we have to do one more thing. Why is it stated it is a neutral? Okay, anybody guess?
Shukra's exaltation point is
Okay, now we use the same logic that this Venus, now he says, I get exalted in one place now. I'm very happy in one place. Where is that? He'll say, in your house I am very happy. You understand this one? He says, in your house, once in a while I come, once in 12, once in a year I come, I'll be very happy in your house. So what does that mean? Friendship. Got it? That's all. So one rule bad, one rule friend. The moment you have one rule contradicting it, it is a neutral and not a. So this is for this, the ancient people have developed mythological stories. You can ask, there are a lot of stories, here are almost a lot of stories. They will say this is why he likes and he does not like. So one simple way is, Shukra took the mantras to the Rakshasas. What is Shukracharya doing? Each time Rakshasa dies, reviving. Okay? And this knowledge is actually, both are Brahmins. Both are teachers. So Guru, meaning I don't like Shukra. Because I feel he has taken this knowledge and given it to the wrong people. So I don't like him. But he likes me because, there is nothing wrong for him. So for him, he treats me as his teachers or friend, as a great guru. So that is the difference. So like this, there are many stories to tell you that friendship is like this and that. But this is the actual logic. So please do this practice 2 or 3 times to recreate this table. Create a blank table and start filling it one by one. This is a very important exercise. So this is a very interesting point that all the signs are alternatively positive and negative, or male and female. By looking at this, Can you say something from your own point of view? Some extra thing that has not been said either by me or by just looking at it. Can you say something? Okay, it starts obviously from here. So it's always MF. The way to remember is MF continuation. Okay. So male, female, male, female, male, female. But you now see from this, Mars rules one male and one female sign. So the Mars here is, by nature of Mars, is stronger. Because what is Mars? Warrior, fighter, strength, physical. So engineers will have Mars strong, surgeons also will have Mars strong. Because thieves will have Mars strong, policemen will have Mars strong. None of them are afraid of the physical, blood. I know a cardiologist who says I cannot perform operation because I see blood and faint. So he only sits in the desk and cancels. Then notice his Mars was very weak. Okay. So if you see Mars here, you will say Mars is in a positive sign. Now let's do the opposite. This is Venus, Venus. Okay? Now we will say Venus, if it is in male sign, it is strong. Here it is weak. Actually it should be the other way around, right? Feminine, so it would have been this. Okay? So always positive is positive. Whenever I say positive, it is positive. So we just used an example to highlight this difference. Now, why can't we have that Venus is strong here than this? Because by using that logic, Venus is feminine, and therefore, if it is in feminine sign, it is stronger. Actually, that doesn't. The logic is not correct. Okay. So, do you notice something else in this male signs?
Except for all signs.
That's a very good observation. She feels that the Mula Trikona is somewhat connected to the male signs. The positive. Why? Saturn's Mula Trikona is here. Mars is here. Sun is here. What else?
Venus.
Jupiter?
Yeah.
Here.
Venus is also there.
Venus, almost everything is it is coinciding. That is also one way. So you can easily use these kind of logics to say something more about a planet. That this planet is positive and negative. When Mars is here, what will this mean? He will be totally weak. He will be covered. Can you guess like that? Why can't it be? Why can't you say it is negative?
Maybe it is not as strong as.
Exactly. Not as strong as the Mesha. Or there will be some other qualities of the Mars. So, like in everything, if you take a coin, there is a, what you call the flip side. You will have both plus and minus. Violence, physical is one form. But what about leadership?
Courage.
It's a courage, and you don't have to really fight, but boldly standing up. So you could have great leaders also born in this sign also, where planets are here. It's not negative, but this will be more of the physical part and more of the Mars part. If it is negative, because you cannot, as she said, we cannot forget that this is its own sign. Whereas, if I put Mars here, what will happen? Here. Tell me some points out of your own guessing, not referring to any book. What will be the nature of Mars when Mars is here?
Negative aspects of
See, first is it is negative.
Negative.
Okay, and it is not his house also. Then can you say something more?
Enemy.
It is 6,000.
Okay, now you refer to that table and find. Okay, go to Mars and see Mars only enemy is from the table, only enemy is Mercury. If some of you feel, why didn't we include Rahu Ketu in all this discussion is, because Rahu Ketu is a separate class, totally a different group. We are having a little bit of problem with that because it was not the regular plan. So in all these basic methods, they were not included at all. But somehow they are having Dasha, Antar Dasha, Rahu Dasha, Ketu Dasha and all that. But don't get confused with that, this basics is enough for us, the 7 planets. Mukhya Saptaha. Okay, now tell me something more about Mercury. Being in Mercury is give some ideas like,
Be strong,
no, Mars is what?
strength,
Strength.
courage.
Mercury is what?
Mind. Intelligence.
Exactly, Buddhi.
Reasoning.
Buddhi. So, the physical has not so much power in where Buddhi is. So, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, one fellow will take one big sword and come like this towards the hero. And the hero will be looking like this. And when the fellow comes very near, he'll take a gun and shoot him and walk off. So that is because there is a technology, an intelligence used, how to make a bullet, how it will fire, how it will go through a barrel, everything is already done. So he just has to take it and shoot. For that, don't have to make such a big fuss, physical fuss. So that is the logic there, that Mars fails. So, another way of looking at it is, if a planet gets into its most unfavorable situation, in astrology there is a term called affliction, afflicted. Then we will read it as Mercury, Mars afflicted. Why? Because he came to this card. So in all classical textbook it will say Mars worst position is here. Now how do you remember these rules? By using some ideas that Mars is red and this is green maximum, especially because Mercury's Mulatrikona is here, Mercury's Onos is there, Mercury's exaltation is here. So that means this place is completely dominated by the Buddhi and the physical has got nothing to do there. So Mercury becomes very weak. So tomorrow if you read any combination, for example, just for the sake of discussion, if this is the Lagna and if Mars is here, because he does not know which horoscope you are reading, where is this Mars? Then always you have to write separate lines for each and every combination. It is like, I teach you 2 tables, 3 tables and like this. Up to how much we learn in school? 12. I mean, some people have learned 16 also, but actually I feel it is, there's no need at all. Okay, the reason is, did they teach you how to multiply this? Did somebody teach you?
No.
Every combination will they teach you? The problem is there will be n number of combinations. So the rishis know they can never cover astrology by telling you all the combinations. Like they cannot say, okay, if this is the horoscope, if this is the Lagna, Mars is sitting and then keep on writing, you know what will happen? The books will be as tall as from here to the moon. And then you'll have to search through all the things unless it's computerized, you will not be able to find out where is this line. So that is a practical problem we face in astrology. So you will have to do your own homework. So if this Mars versus this Mars, both same, here there is children. Why? It is also the lord of the house of children. 5th house is house of children. So this is how you start getting into the complex nature of astrology. So if you know more and more points like this, then it will be easy for you to conclude. So this place has an additional term which you will maybe will show some slide. This is a barren sign. Barren means desert. This is a desert. This is a desert and this is a desert. Make your own small chart and shade that place and write this is called barren sign. Big barren signs and you shade this portion, this one and this one. So now the topic, yeah.
Nisha, the
Mesha and this is Gemini.
1, 3,
or,
5, 6.
Mithuna and Simha or Leo, Virgo or Kanya.
1, 3, 5, 6. Signs.
1, 3, okay, if you want signs is, he says why don't you refer by sign number 1, 3, 5, 6. Now this is called barren. What is the point of using the word barren? Fertility, opposite. What is the doctor when you don't have children, we go to a doctor, what do they call them? Infertility specialist or fertility specialist. Now they call them positively, fertility specialist. We are not really. So fertility, opposite is barren signs. Now slowly get more into astrology. Who is the planet, which is the planet that is connected to directly children of the 7 planets? Guru. Guru is called the Putra Karaka. In my experience I found when Jupiter occupies this sign and this sign and this, all this 1, 3, 5, 6 signs, there is a tendency for childlessness. So this is how you develop the story. More and more and more. So, you will know tables, then you will know addition, multiplication, division, the basics. After that, the teachers will never tell you, this is how you handle numbers. After that, you are on the road. But until you reach that spot, you need to understand the basics lyrics. With all this, what we are doing today. Whatever is positive, negative is also male, female. Okay? Okay. What is special about Indira Gandhi?
Bold and courageous.
Courage and everything.
Straightforward.
Okay. Afterwards, when you go home, Google the horoscope of Indira Gandhi. Or we can do it here. Let's see if it is available. I will bring it. Opening the site itself. You don't want the site. Can you see this? Can you say what is special about Indira Gandhi's chart?
Ascendant is correct.
I try to make it bigger, it is opening a site. Excuse me.
It's in the house. 61 in the house.
Okay, that's it. Okay, in this concept of positive, negative, day is considered as positive and night is considered as negative. Okay, that is one point. So this is something you learn today. Day is considered positive and night is considered negative. And normally, man versus women. Okay? See, we are not using the word negative. Okay? Not in that language that women are negative or women are weak. Not that. It's just to differentiate like how you say in a battery, positive and negative. Is one less than the other? If you say less,
No.
because there is no battery at all. Correct? It is the same power, both sides. So in India we have this concept called Adyar, Narishwar, that Shiva is actually half. Okay, those things. So we are not meaning anything.
Exchange also.
Huh?
Exchanging also.
See. exchange of signs, but that was not the topic here. She saw Saturn is sitting in Moon's house and Moon is sitting in Saturn's house. What else?
Guru and Shukra.
Guru is sitting in Shukra's house and Shukra is in Guru's house. Anything else?
Maha and Sun.
Mars and Sun.
and Mars.
Sun and Mars.
3 planets.
So what is she called as? So she was like the Iron Lady, something like that. Okay, but we will say the topic was not that. The topic is about obviously male, female or positive, negative. So now we come to another point that Indira Gandhi is a lady. So a lady born in night time, born in the lagna of the female sign. Okay? With the moon in a female sign, with the sun in the female sign. In reference points, it's always lagna, the moon and the sun. This is the standard method of reference in India also. The Westerners picked up the sun and called it sun sign and made volumes and volumes of books. Indians made 50% all TV, all newspaper, everything moon sign. But astrologers know seriously it is lagna. But you find it is a lady born in the night with lagna feminine, moon feminine and sun feminine. Okay? So this is something very extraordinary. This is written as a Maha Yoga in the Yoga Chakra. If you find anybody like this. And you can also work out on the positive the opposite of this. You find a man taking birth in the daytime with lagna in male signs, moon in male signs, and okay, now what happens if the gender is reversed? What will happen? Nothing will happen. The power will always be the same thing only. Like I told you, battery. Okay, not that this will become somebody else. Like female become like male. It's not exactly the physical won't change, but the way they deal their life, they'll be very, they'll be very strong. So we just gave you a sample of how you could have used all this knowledge that we got today. What is this? This is another interesting point. This is water, fire, air. Okay, where does it start?
On fire.
Fire. Fire, earth, air, water. If you have trouble remembering this order, when I was a beginner, I memorized it like this.
P.O.
Instead of fear, okay? So fear, okay. What can you use in this? Some parallel is there, something common between something else we learned so far? That this fire earth air, water, fire earth air, water. Can you find some resemblance or some common things?
Transition points. Sandhya points.
Okay, Sandhi points. Sandhi, you can say Sandhi also. Sandhi is actually junction. Sandhi. Sandhi is a water and fire. Okay, beautiful. That's a very nice observation. Anything else? See, what she is trying to tell is, therefore, the fight is heavy here. This. Okay, anything else? Try to just superimpose this chart over positive, negative, male, female. Where is the F signs?
Always male.
Where is the fire signs?
Fire sign is always in positive.
Fire signs is always positive. Then
Water is always female.
water is always female. Yeah, like this you can observe.
Air is always male.
In fertility, what will be the logic of fertility in agriculture? What is it based on? Water. Correct? So, all water signs are fertile. For water it is fertile. Opposite desert. So if you have any of your fifth house in these places, the chances of more number of children are there.
If any planet is debilitated, then
Even then it will improve. Because see, if you use one line like debilitation, it is only 1 point. Suppose you had 4, 5 plus points, and only one negative like debilitation, it will not work. You need sensitivity. That's why I always tell you, in the same way, in your exams, they never asked you one question. They asked you this many, and that too, they knew how to ask you questions. Part A, 1 mark question. Do they still follow the same idea now? I don't know. When I was studying, it was Part A, 1 mark question. So I think, oh, 10 marks, going to go. But then finally we come down and come down. Then B, I think it was some
5 marks.
yeah, something like that. So 3 marks or something. After that, suddenly some 5 marks something. And so the thing is, if you know to answer all of them, you get 100. So you cannot let down ignore even the smallest rule in astrology. This small things like positive, negative, fertile, all the simple things also, exaltation, debilitation. See, exaltation, debilitation is the simplest thing. Everybody knows. All my clients, when they come to me, they will say, "Sir, you forgot my son has got this planet exaltation." Ordinary people will tell you exaltation. Nicham, ucham, very easy. Because something special, so somehow some astrologer will always tell them this is something very special because you have got an exalted planet. Okay, have you covered this?
So planets in water sign is fertile.
Yeah, fertile. Also, water is what? Emotional. What is emotions? When you are emotional, what happens? Tears. So water and emotions. So Lagna in these places will make the person more prone to emotions. Moon there, too much. Suppose you have a situation where Lagna is this and the moon is also here. Will this person be very emotional?
Yes, naturally.
Yeah, they will be emotional. Okay, now will this be emotional or this Lagna and this Chandra? Now let's number it. You said 12th house and this is first house. Which will be more emotional? This or the first one we said, where the moon is in water sign itself.
First one.
first one, right?
First one?
This will be emotionally unstable. That will be.
So okay, now a very important point. The first one will be better. Always when a planet is in the own sign, it will try to bring more of the good side of the combination. There may be emotions. That's all adjusted, accepted. But moon in the 12th will bring out more negative side of this combination. So they will be actually very unstable.
Okay. And that is air sign, so air is always movement unstable.
You can use that kind of logic. Because I think air dries up water, I think, right? If you put cloths on the cloth line, what is actually drying it? People think it is
Air.
sunlight.
Okay.
Even without sunlight, it will dry. It's only air. Okay. From that point of view, good. So now what happens is you need to use your own, interpretation. You that becomes an art. Okay. I forgot one thing. These water places are also called mute. Mute means what? No sound.
No sound.
In water can you talk?
No.
Unless you have some gadgets. In movies they will show you. Inside that they will have. But otherwise can you talk? I think little sound will come. You can make a you can pick it up. But actually it works against sound, water. So it's called mute science. How will you use this knowledge? If K2 is in the second house, there will be stammering. Example, don't conclude like that because 1/12 of the world's population will have K2 in control. So not everybody will have. But the ones who have stammering will mostly have at least 2 or at least 3 planets influencing strongly the second house, especially routing. One of them. So there will be a repetition, one more time. It will become a repetition. So if that sign of affliction falls in a mute sign, then the possibility of being dumb will increase. Or sometimes you will notice that the parents will complain that my son is now 5 years but still hasn't started speaking. Might be delayed also. Okay. See, after this it's up to you. Suppose we know this is fire, and let's say for somebody born in this Lagna, this will become the 10th house. And let's say Mars is also there. So Mars the 10th in the fire sign, 10th house is fire sign, then surely that person will be tending to become a physical, some people do physical and engineering, leadership and so on. This is slightly different from the Vastu concepts. Okay, don't confuse with Vastu, whatever you may pick up from Vastu. These are the signs as per astrology. When you have a planet there, the planet will tend to push the person towards east. So here, I didn't get a writing something, but I used to say ESWN.
Yes,
Yes-win, yeah. Yes-win. We'll deal with this later. This is a very important fundamental point in astrology. Something like a one-word description of planets. The sun is the soul. The moon is the mind and Mars is the strength. Buddha is the speech. Guru is Shukra is the marriage, and Shani is called the Dukkha Karaka, the Karaka for sorrow. So if you say something like this, that means Saturn will always be grief. Take the negative and positive in this. Whatever is negative will happen when the planet is negative or afflicted or in bad houses, those things will come. Then what you do is, like I always tell people, that is the flip side, the coin's other side. Guts. This side, robber. Just think he has to climb into a house and get inside, could be caught, could go to jail, but he's taking the guts. He has the guts. Policeman trying to face a terrorist. He also has the same guts. So be very careful when reading all these things. Like we say, Venus is marriage. So if Venus is afflicted, what happens? The experience of marriage will be bad. If Venus is exalted, you have to be very careful with it. Because it might be excess of, that. And if the person can manage it, the general public will say is lucky. So whom does the world praise? People like Vijay Mallya. Okay. So we have this problem that men usually praise those men who have many ladies. So it's a very double-edged thing. These things are very double-edged. But for all practical purpose, Venus exalted, Venus well placed. These are all balanced I mean, is a plus point for marriage. Venus debilitated, afflicted is a minus on marriage. Actually, they also say that Shukra is the the Kama Deva, the desire. Here there will be some changes like he said Buddhi. What is the requisite of speech? It's Buddhi, intelligent speech. You have to speak properly. Otherwise, if somebody speaks something, what do they say? He is blabbering. So people will put dislike in the videos because they don't like. It's not necessary if you speak, it is actually intelligence. Intelligently speaking. But if Mercury is very strong, they will be able to tell things on the spot. Without a gap, they will tell. So these people are what we call as gifted. So they won't even spend a second to tell something. It will come, presence of mind. So if Buddha is afflicted, it will be just the opposite.
So humor also.
Yeah, humor comes, wit, we call it wit. Humor, wit, the ability to write and tell the exact word. So moon afflicted, moon exalted. Moon exalted, how will they be?
Stable.
More stable, mind will be very strong. Debilitated, they will be very weak. Not necessarily. Okay, now there is a problem understanding for whom what is it. Like in seasons we said summer, then what?
Heat.
Then somebody said summer is for the northern hemisphere and winter for the southern hemisphere. So when Australia gets hotter, the top portions will get cold. So there is nothing specific for all this, but if you say, for example, Kanchi's Paramacharya, who we call as Periva, had Venus exalted. But where? In the 8th house. So that Venus in the 8th house as the 10th lord, because he was born in this Lagna and Venus is here. Now Venus is also called the Mantra Karaka. Why? Flip side. Obsessed with women, opposite of it. No women, no interest. Buddha. Concentrate on something else. So you have to be very careful when you read it. So but suppose if that person wanted to become a businessman, then what will happen? He will only see defeat. So if you refer to people like that, you will say he is weak because his Venus is in the 8th as the 10th lord of profession. So his profession will never prosper. So to whom are you telling what? That matters. See, in London, if the king dies, they will make the statement, the king is dead. And immediately they will say, long live the king. Have you heard this? The king is dead. Long live the king. What is the meaning of this?
Immediately they are calling the new king.
Who? By elections?
No.
No.
The son of
Successor.
The prince, the heir apparent, without any ritual, without any function, is automatically the king. On the date of father's death, if you interview the prince and ask, is it your good day or bad day? What will he say?
It's a good day.
Opinion same? Whatever Giralal says is acceptable to you?
That will become king.
See, already there is a lady, so the lady says, no, it is not a good day. Mixed.
Mixed.
We have a problem because from what point of view are you talking? So, for a sannyas like Brahmacharya, having Venus gone in the 8th is very good. So, no more of the problems of what we call the desires. Desireless. For him it matches. So, this is the problem in astrology that when we read, you have to understand whose chart is being read. You have things like what is good for one will be bad for another. Those kind of things. So always know the background and then predict certain things. Suppose you find in the horoscope combinations like there is fluctuating fortunes. If the 6th lord is the 5th, Maharishi Parashara says, there will be fluctuations. Can a businessman handle this? Very bad. Whereas, if that same person is employed in a job, what happens? Now and then he might lose his job. So what? He'll find another job. Maybe there is a gap finding another job. But in business, it is such a huge risk. Ever? 6th in the 5th. Okay? So this is one combination. I'm just giving an example. So you need to look at it. This rule is being read for whom? See, another thing. You read a chart and you find Putra Dosha. But then, after talking to the client, you will come to know that the client is in no way upset that he does not have a child. Then you need not waste time on that topic. You go to some other topic connected to the 5th one, because the person is, so what? Nothing. They are okay with it. When you start telling remedies, when you start discussing it, then there is a need, there is an anxiety for that person. I need to find out what is the method to get out of this problem. Only then it starts. So, the horoscope will very clearly indicate whether the person has to be in business or he has to stay in a job. Sometimes in some horoscopes you will have only in this particular period this business will be very bad. During that time you don't tell the person to get back a job. That doesn't make sense. You only tell him that don't make any fresh investments, don't make any fresh moves. Just go like that to the other side. Without trying anything hanky-panky, because this is a period that will take away all your money. So stop, maybe go on a long holiday, rest on whatever you have earned, and then start again. Or do small projects where the karma cannot get a chance to work. So when will karma work? It will work when you did something wrong in a bad time and that will be a big way. Okay? So too many things are involved when something bad really happens. So please be very careful when you read a chart just by, okay, you look 12th house planet, 6th house planet, 8th house planet, be very careful. See, for example, I know a person with this Lagna having 1, 2, 3, 4 planets in the 12th. And this person is a multi-millionaire in the industry of medical care, taking care of the sick. What happened here is 12th house is hospital. Permanently hospital. So when you get into a work like that and spend your entire lifetime in a hospital, you may say I am rich, but what are you actually doing? You are taking care of the sick people or the unwell people and try, okay, you make money out of it, that's a different point. But there, the loss will not count because he is already given it to them. So you find that this is a house of confinement. So I found 3 planets conjunction, they basically become like officers of the jail. They are also inside the jail. You see, the very subtle message. Where are you? I am also inside the jail. What difference does it make? Tell me frankly. But only thing is that the jail superintendent will go out to his house and get back again. But where is he? He is handling these people. So then there is some kind of bad luck that you have to live with the suffering and the dying. So every day you will see dead bodies going out of your hospital. And you say, yeah, that's part of life. So I found a lot of doctors having this, and strangely, people who are in the ashram life, they also have this. There they are completely given up saying, I am in the another type of confinement. So Varavira writes, to become a good astrologer, you need to become a philosopher. You need to be very intelligent and you need to learn the human being from every possible angle. Only then you will be able to understand this. So 12th house is what? confinement, ashram, jail, bed. So you'll see that some of the successful doctors, their last days usually will be in bed. They will be better. So you'll find these patterns. So this is not just what the moon means, what Mars means, Mercury means. Okay, suppose we try to find out what the sun means or the moon means. Can you generate some ideas without reading any book to try to fill in some words like sun?
Sun's light.
Each one tell one point, try and let's see whether we can.
Light, heat.
Sun is light, okay, heat, light.
Light.
Father, why? Light. Why father? You said father.
Yes.
Why? Ready. But can you say something about it?
King.
Why father? So start relating it to the solar system. The sun is in the middle and everybody is around it. So it's called the father image. Where the child will go to? Father, fees, father, son, money, everything. And the whole thing is revolving around the, therefore it is father. Next, any other term?
King.
King. From the king you can say government. Authority. So what will be the difference in an ordinary accountant versus a chartered accountant? For the CA, the sun will also be playing a dominant role because he gets the seal. So once he puts the seal on his paper, the government will take it as a valid document. So the sun is government, seal, authority. Beautiful. Any other thing? Just keep adding if you can. Otherwise we'll go to the next plan.
Energy provided in solar.
Okay, maybe energy, maybe anything like light. So can we say name fame? Name fame.
Is it Dharma?
Yeah, definitely yes. Soul. Beautiful. This is the basic thing inside you, which is not the mind. So by that we are all the same. That which we call as the soul. So it is deep inside, but it is not the mind. Mind is the moon. And sun becomes the basis for everything. And it is big. Once it's big, it is God. It's actually God. Sun is the God. That is why our ancient worship was always sun God. Then later it changed. Every religion had something to do with. See, why do we all say Father in heaven? Christians. Why in Islam they refer to as Father? That means God is a male. Can anybody say God is a female? We have a struggle, right? That is because we associate it with the father image. Meaning he will take care of us. Just imagine a child which is fatherless. So difficult. So difficult, extremely difficult. So, like this you can, king of metals, which is the king. Which is the king of metals?
Sun.
No, metals. Gold. Who's it? Gold. Gold. So gold is the basis for what? For a nation's wealth. So the sun rules RBA. The sun rules gold. So all the what we call the finance, not money lending. Money lending is Jupiter. Keeping accounts, all that. This finance is separate. So if somebody has sun strong, you should study a subject like finance, RBA stuff, the national level finance. See, like this you can keep adding. Or the big one, the main one. So in a hotel, there will be a lot of food being cooked, but they will have separately cashew nut. And somehow the owner will keep the cashew nut to himself. He will have the rich, the costly spices to himself, and he will keep watch on whether they are taking extra. They will always be very careful those things. All of that is the sun. Therefore, cashew nut. Whatever you do the topping and say this is this is cashew nut and walnut, almonds, everything is the sun. Groundnut, Saturn. Yeah. So the problem is you go down to dig and get it, tubers all down. Why Saturn is down? Darkness. Dark down, sun up. Sun and Saturn opposite. So everything is philosophy in astrology. See, that's why when we do astrology, what we think is we are talking about planets, but actually it is not planets. We are talking about ourselves. So when Saturn is afflicted, people will get leg pain. Lame, limp, slide like this while walking. All that is Saturn stuff, negative. Who will have strong legs? Saturn strong. So be very careful with this. So if the planet is well placed and all that, that part of it will become very strong. Knee is the exact point of Saturn. In karate, in martial arts, the easiest way to bring down even the toughest fellow is to hit on the knee. After that, there is no way the person can stand. Police know that, that's why they shoot on the knee. So the knee is the most powerful joint, and yet it is the most vulnerable, the weakest also. You can easily damage the knee. So knee problem will come during 7.5 year Saturn and during Saturn phase in some other time. So please try to just not read a book, because today this light has come, then you don't know what is this. This product has come, computer. Which planet rules the computer? How will you find out? You will be forced to refer books. Somebody has written it, fine. Otherwise, tomorrow something else will come and you don't know what. But if you know the basis, you can always find out for yourself. And make astrology very interesting. Moon. Obviously, pair of the sun. Sun pair, moon. So, if sun is father, moon is mother.
The right eye, left eye.
Face. Yeah. This is right eye, this is left eye.
Sun and moon.
Yeah. I have a left eye problem because most astrologer can help any client. The client has to help themselves by doing the reversals of moon, mind. Anything else?
Silver.
Now from this, yeah, beautiful. Gold,
Silver.
pair of silver. You go to any newspaper, gold red, silver red. You don't find other metals. See, the ancient people are so smart, they knew everything permanently, that this is how the world will be forever. So moon, yeah, good, water. That is what? Fire. This is water. Sun, pitta. How does the sun look like? What color? Either it is colorless or red. When you are angry, how will your eyes be? Red. Blood red. So those who have pitta, like me, can see always, not white eyes. So white eyes means phlegm, kapha. They have less pitta in their body. So they won't get pitta diseases. This retina problem is a pitta disease. Retina. So there is something called alovachaka pitta. When you think a lot, the pitta rises. So we people who keep thinking all the time have always the risk of eye problem. Especially if you have sun in Lagna. Sun in Lagna like me, if you have, then you will be a pitta person. So sun is fire, sun is pitta. Moon is water, moon is kapha. Like this, you have to slowly, you can read my book, I have given all these things in my book. But if you read it like this and understand it like this, it will become very interesting and you will never forget it for a lifetime. Yeah, there is actually 4 volumes. This is volume 1, I think it is in volume 2. Okay. Then from moon, water, then agriculture, then milk. What does the mother give? Milk. And how the mother gives food? By showing the moon only. Until recently, now it is TV. Okay. Before that was see the moon, see the moon. Okay, so moon. Moon in the night. Again, sun in the day. So father, mother, concepts. So you always think like this. Moon is what is this? Pearl. Yeah, great pearl.
Mind.
The sun is ruby.
Mind.
Moon is the mind related. Sailing. Sailor will have moon. If moon is in the 10th, the person will be into a lot of travel, textiles. See, basically, textile as a raw textile, if it is organic. Now we have other, we use inorganic things to make clothes, but normally it is textile means what? Cotton. So moon rules the cotton. Travel. Why moon rules travel?
So the
Fastest thing in the sky. Every day is travel. Continuously travel. So from that you have travel. Then sailor I said, water I said. Then in the department of medical world, it is gynecology. So after studying, I have at least in my own experience some 5 to 10 specialists, very famous people in Tamil Nadu, having the moon in the 10th. Exemplary, not necessarily only there. Gynecologist. Why? Nursing, motherly. Before these doctors came, who will take care of the delivery? Midwife, a lady. It was like nursing. Now it became complicated because again, so natural delivery is only moon. Cesarean is Mars. Okay. So I think moon is okay. Then Mars. Mars is strength. From that you can write a whole lot of things. Actually, Mars is red. Mercury is green. All that which fights and destroys the greenery is Mars. That's all. So Mars means all the modern industrialization, engineering. But in that, there is some constructive also. Right? Construction is good, but it is destruction from Earth's point of view.
Technology is Mars.
Yeah, definitely. Engineering, technology, everything is Mars. Or the simple way is if you use tools. So recently, I think 4 days earlier on, I consulted for 3 children, all born in foreign countries. I said, the mother herself told that my daughter is a doctor. I said she should have been in the army actually. I don't know where she got. But being a lady, I think it's okay. But then she said no, she worked in an army for 15 years. Oh. So it did not spare her. A doctor in the army. Yeah. But she worked in very difficult situations.
But police?
Yeah, US sent her to the Gulf. So she was seeing death every day and she could have died also. But she survived. Yeah. Yes, madam.
Police will also come.
100% police. Police, surgeon, and of course you never get to consult a thief, but if Mars is debilitated, I had consulted for a gangster who killed lots of people, and during the consultation I found that the Mars was actually strong, but the horoscope was afflicted and the mind was afflicted. Mars was actually strong. So there were situations where our guy had put a gun into the mouth of a police officer and said, I'm sparing you because you're doing your government's job, but for me that's no big deal, I can lose my life today, but you go back home. There's some nice side of him also, but basically you find it will be a thin line. It will be a very thin line, the guts and this and everything. So surgeons will have extremely strong, well-placed Mars. Muhammad Ali had Mars in the 10th in Molecule. Example, just to remember. Okay. Politicians, it will be a side support because every politician needs guts, but not exactly physical. Like you cannot say it's all the time physical, but it might be an added advantage. But they are also thieves. No, that's a nice point. But See, okay.
Affected Mercury maybe.
Okay, can you say why an ordinary pickpocket goes to jail, but a politician does not go to jail that easy? Can you say why?
Sun.
No, the basic horoscope must be strong. The punya will be very high actually for these people. So they somehow try to, they will be in a better position than our guy. Our guy means any theft happens, they just pick up all these people and put them into jail. Correct? But other people, you can't catch them because the karma allowed them to make that kind of money. And once, even use common sense, once you have that kind of money, you can actually buy time, you can, the recording it, so I'm little worried about it. Anyway, it doesn't matter because everybody knows, they can even buy the judge. In most cases, they can buy the judge. And the judge is the final person who's going to say, this person is free to go. So, it can be set up. But not all the time. Not all the time. But the richer means that punya will be high. That's why they were born into that kind of a situation. For a thief at the low level, horoscope never wanted to become rich. So when they try to do something opposite to what is there in the horoscope, they will quickly get into trouble. That is the logic. So, I know what you're saying, but you can't do anything with that. Okay, Mercury. Red, blood. So if Mars is in the 8th, there is always the possibility of a blood-related health problem. Yeah, correct. It's very sad. I've seen continuously this thing working again and again, Mars in the 8th. So be very careful with your clients if they are Mars in the 8th. My advice is let them give blood donation when they are healthy. And try to get rid of that Mars quota.
Especially with Saturn.
Yeah, with Saturn. Mars and Saturn is very bad. Mars and Saturn in the east.
That is seen
If
somewhere.
it's Jupiter or something.
Then it minimizes. If see the logic, okay, we come to that because our next planet is Mercury, after Mercury. Okay, Mercury we are running short of time, but Mercury is buddhi. One word, ganita, calculation. Always calculation. That's enough. And letters and numbers plan. Today the letters and numbers are in computers, therefore computer.
Inventions.
No, not inventions, from the electronics. Yeah, he rules electronics. He rules this phone, communication. How to remember this is, Mercury, Sun is here. Mercury is like this. I come to that point, third house. Mercury is like this. So from your point of view, it will be like this. So you will find Mercury goes forward, stops, goes backwards, called Vakra, comes back, goes forward. Wherever the Sun is, it will be moving like this. Whatever moves like this is Mercury, that's all. No more doubts about Mercury. So how will I talk? Hello? Like this. He will say something. Jata will I talk? No. He will talk. Like this, go on back and forth. So export import is Mercury. All trading is Mercury. Mercury is communication, Mercury is speech, Mercury is computers, Mercury is documentation. Okay, what is documentation? What is writing? See this? Goes on like this?
No, come back.
Come back. Like this. So printing is Mercury. Why? Like this. So the postman was sitting there and doing like this now. So I saw on video, continuously, stamping like this. They're all Mercury. Repetition. Repetitions. So 100% a temple Purohit will have Mercury strong. Because he does the same thing again and again and again. So Mercury is a repetition. Back and forth, to and fro. So most students will be doing electronics and communication or triple E if Mercury is very dominant and strong. And Jupiter is knowledge. Wherever you have books, that is Jupiter's place. Lawyer?
Mars.
No, there is a difference between Jupiter and Mercury. Mercury is without too much of books you can do it. But accountants, chartered accountants, all these people will have a lot of books on their in their office room.
Okay.
And suddenly, they will feel compelled to pull out a book and refer. So this is database. So actually Jupiter rules the internet. Internet as Google.
Information.
Yeah, where server and books and all that wisdom,
Yeah.
that knowledge. So they say, oh, you ask him any question, he will answer.
Counseling.
Counseling, consultant. Jupiter is the Dhanakaraka, the money. Therefore, Jupiter rules the bank.
Teachers.
Jupiter is a teacher, school, college. School, college, consultancy, guru. What is the planet for astrology? Both Mercury and Jupiter. Accountancy, both Mercury and Jupiter. But if the sun is strong, he will become a CA. Otherwise, all accountants, all chartered accountants, all accountants can easily learn astrology because the governing planets are the same. Okay, they easily learn astrology. So I covered everything. In gems it is yellow sapphire. Its color is yellow. It partly rules gold. If Jupiter is very much afflicted, the person, even though being a lady, will not like gold or will not be wearing gold. Jupiter afflicted, including ladies in India, which I don't like gold. Huh?
You feel heavy.
No, you start wearing more gold only if Jupiter is favorable to you. Lagna wise. I think we did last time, class, but we haven't finished that exercise.
Yeah.
The next class we'll do that. So Jupiter's friend means you wear more gold. And Jupiter we finished, and next is Saturn. Easy. Last thing. No, last thing. Because last of the planets. What is last?
Death.
Death. So it's called the death. Mrityu Karaka.
Karma also can be related to.
Exactly. In the end, what will prevail? Karma will prevail. So it's Karma Karaka. Yeah. Saturn is definitely Mooladhara Chakra. Yes.
What's that?
She's talking about chakras.
Yeah.
It is here. Okay. You just on YouTube type chakras Dilip. You will get my video on explaining how the chakras are related to the horoscope. Just like Dilip and chakras. Okay. Whatever you do, in the end it will be only bad. That's all. As simple as that. You eat nice, you eat well in a 5-star hotel. Afterwards, what happens? Stomach problem. Usually you expect trouble in the end. So in the end we will lose. So it's one of the planets that causes loss. In the end we will end up, most probably, God forbid, in hospital. And he's a karaka for all the rogas, the disease, not just death. Roga karaka. But he's also karaka for sannyas. Why? The last
Sacrifice.
the last of our life and death cycle will only be sannyas. The last one. That will be 1 minus moksha. So the last birth is, whichever we get moksha, we will consider that as the last birth. So from that we know Saturn is called the sannyas planet, Praprajyakara in Sanskrit. So Saturn Lord Buddha had Saturn in the 10th.
So Saturn and 12 can be related to sannyas.
Saturn in 10th, yeah. 12th also. 12 might not be typical sannyas, but it will be a desire to become. And we will recommend that they spend time in ashram.
If Saturn is in 10th, it is Sanya.
No. 10th is a powerful yoga for sannyas. One of the yogas. But it is double-edged.
Especially the moon.
Yeah, from the moon also. But it is double-edged, I'm telling you. That's what we will come with examples later on with all these things. But Saturn is, okay. In the body, what is Saturn?
Bones,
Teeth, hair, white. Can anybody guess?
It's like gold.
Huh?
very important. Because
almost.
If you bury the dead, I mean the bodies,
will remain.
finally only these things will remain.
Yes.
And they will remain for a long time. They'll be the last things to go. So teak wood is
Nails.
Saturn.
Nails.
Teak wood is Saturn. The act of agriculture is moon, but teak wood or any wood culture, now where, okay, how do you make teak? You say like tomorrow I want 5 computers, I want 5 Hyundai cars. Can you say I want tomorrow 10 trees? Time based. So everything.
You not use too much teak wood.
No, not like that. Time based, delayed based,
Delayed.
everything is
Saturn.
set. And persistent,
Discipline.
chronic, perseverance. Why Makara Lagna people and Kumbha Lagna people, they work a lot? Is because it's called the planet for persistence. It is like not giving up. So Saturn is like that.
Workaholic.
Yes. Saturn's number is 8. Okay? You know how long this is? It will be actually this long. You know why they say walk in heaps? Have you any idea why they say walk in heaps?
Because it strengthens the bones and the mind.
That is because you twist in every possible way. Okay? You twist in every possible way. And I'll come up with other things later on in some other class why this number is so special. But actually it could be as long as this. But if you will not know. If you want to know this, go to the terrace, mark a long 8 and count the number of steps and then walk one straight line and see how much it is. It is very long. But you will never notice this. And another thing about this number is every number ends downwards. Like this goes up. Only this goes up. So Saturn finally will take you up. So that's why it is called the tough teacher. The one who corrects you with karma, doing this and that, and finally corrects you and gets you out of life and death, the life cycles. So long. So if Saturn is afflicted, it will give you chronic illness. Diabetes never goes away. Blood pressure does not go away. All chronic stuff.
When Saturn is taking us to moksha, then why are you telling Saturn as malefic planet? Why not as a benefit?
From human beings' point of view, it is malefic. Because what we want, Saturn seems to be saying that movie is all false. But you will not. Yeah, planet of justice. So we don't like justice at all. To tell you frankly, we don't like. It is just a, like, okay, we'll come to that, but it is actually a planet for donations. So if you have a badly placed Saturn, you have to donate as much as possible. Why? In the end, you will donate and go. Correct? When we take the money, we donate and go. So donate it before the time comes. Saturn is the Karaka for the 12th house. Therefore is a Karaka for imprisonment. If you see any horoscope where Saturn is in the 2nd or the 12th, along with malefics in 5 and 9, it is one of the famous, notorious combinations for imprisonment yoga. Every now and then I read charts of people who went to jail in US and these places having this combination. But those who have Saturn in the 12th, one great remedy, modern world is join some, ask some NGOs to do some jail project. Going to jail, yeah, and helping the prisoners. Don't have any birds, animals and fish in captivity. Don't keep it confined in any place. Always release things into freedom. Let them have their freedom. Why we should have them to entertain us? You know this fish, that Vastu fish? One tank, one long fish like this. That is the most negative thing in Vastu. All this is a setup. So like they said, ghee is very bad for health. ghee is very bad for it, like they said. But actually ghee is very good for you. Because if you take ghee, most of the diseases won't come to you. So entire medicine kingdom will come down. It is a very big mafia. So whatever they want, however they want to spread disease, they will tell that all that which will protect you from disease is bad. So people have been brainwashed. So we have finished just generalized stuff on each planet. And as we go, in the next class we will again get back to the friends and enemies of each Lagna. Please practice that. I have given some rules. See that and then we will continue from where we left. And can somebody prepare, one of you volunteer to prepare a PowerPoint presentation on a sign explain. Like, just don't refer alone my notes. Can you come up with some ideas? Like Aries, these are the things that are most salient about this Aries, Taurus, like everything about that. So you just put it in 2 or 3 slides. Main heading will be Aries or Mesha, and then say it is positive, it is a fire sign, like that. I have some constant something where you can quickly understand, and once you prepare, we can put it in the group. I've given some notes. You can also
We can refer books.
books and whichever creative way you can. If it's very good, we can upload it on the YouTube also. I'll give you the credits that it was done by my student.
Yes.
I'll put your photo, and that will be you will be on your way to becoming a professional astrologer.
I don't need. We don't.
No, whoever needs it, I'm telling you. Okay. So, in astrology, what happens is while you practice some of the noble professions, something of you will also become good. Like teachers are this. The more you teach, the more you say something, you will become that itself.
So, present general thing, Mars and Saturn conjunction is happening right now. So, for that, a lot of information is given on various media. Somebody go with it and
Yeah. Mars, Saturn, okay. I think we are running out of time, but you can go, on YouTube you can type this, Mars, Saturn, Dhilipkumar.
or you
Yeah, I've done a Mars, Saturn, Nexus.
Sometimes when we are going into your sites, it doesn't lead us to that page.
No, do one thing, go only not from the phone. From the phone there is a problem. If you use a computer, it will go correctly. Only the mobile there is a problem. I don't know how it happens. Whatever you type, it will go to another page. But on desktop, it doesn't happen. On laptop also, it doesn't happen. So YouTube, if you just type exaltation Dilip, you will get nice video. Mula Trikona, I have done a graphical representation of how the Mula Trikona is. So once you see it, it will come as a graphic video memory. We got many memories we have got. You know what is called muscle memory? Anybody has heard this term, muscle memory?
That is during dehydration.
No, not that. See, suppose I have to put my password, on the phone. I actually don't know the number itself.
Yeah.
But how will it do it? Like this. So it's called muscle memory. And if I stare at the number, I'll get confused. So before that, I'll do like this. Then it will be correct. So many things we do by muscle memory. All your driving is muscle memory. Correctly, without your knowledge, you will press the clutch, you will change, but you are actually not thinking about it. That is not just randomly doing. There is something called muscle memory. Like that, there are many varieties of memories. And one is, if you like the subject and if you are very passionate, for example, how many people saw today Indira Gandhi's chart? Many people, right? All of you saw. Suppose I ask you, where is the moon, in which sign it is there in Indira Gandhi's chart? No, wait, I'm asking you. I'll come to you. Okay. Now, anybody raise your hand and say, I know, except Janardhan sir, because he's already a professional astrologer. Anybody else?
7th house moon was in the 7th house.
Okay. Now, why did he remember moon in the 7th?
Saturn was in the Lagna, so
Okay.
nothing.
I remember from the exchange of planets.
The exchange of planets was.
Moon in Jupiter house.
If Maharishi Parag says, if the Lagna Lord is in the 7th, married life will be affected. The person will tend to lose the husband. There are a lot of things that I thought he knew that rule and so he picked up. Usually what happens is the memory comes because you relate to something. Then it will never fade. So if you have the habit of relating, then you will not forget. Otherwise, each time you see it will be, you will keep forgetting. Okay? Fine, we'll take it there.